this lecture, we are going to discuss mutable and immutable properties of past data objects in function. So we already studied mutable and immutable types in 11th standard. So what do you mean by mutable and immutable types? Mutable type means those values that can be changed in place. That means modifying same value in same memory location. Here the memory location is not changing, only the value is changing. For example, list, dictionaries and set. All these are example for mutable type. Second one is immutable type. Immutable type means those values cannot be changed in place. That means it modifies the value not in same memory location. That is, whenever one assigns a new value to the variable referring to immutable type, variable reference is changed and the previous value left unchanged. That means not modification not take place in same memory location. For example, integer, floating point numbers, booleans, strings, tuples. So now we are going to discuss mutable and immutable properties of past data objects. In the last year we studied Python variables are not storage containers. Rather, these variables are like memory reference. That is, they refer to the memory address where the value is stored. That is why they are called memory references, not storage containers. They refers to the memory address where the value is stored. So here we are going through two conditions. If a variable is referring to an immutable type, means immutable type, then any change in its value will also change the memory address it is referring to. Once again, if the variable is referring to an immutable type, what do you mean by immutable type? Modification takes place in different memory location. So then any change in value also change the memory address it is referring to. For example, what are the different types of immutable types? Integer, floating point, tuple. So I will show you one example. The first line, it is given x equal to 3. What it means? The value 3 is assigned to x. So what is the type of x? Its type is integer. Okay. What is the use of function id? Id returns the memory address of that particular variable. So id of x returns the memory address. Then what happens? I change the value of x to 4. So in the first case, the address of x is this one and I change the value of x to 4. Again, type is not changing. So what will be the address? Address is changing. That is, int is an immutable type. So then any change in its value will also change the memory address. So here first value is 3, then it is changed to 4. So it also changed the memory address. That means if a variable is referring to an immutable type, then any change in its value will also change the memory address. Second case, if a variable is referring to mutable type, then any change in the value of mutable type will not change the memory address of the variable. If a variable is referring to mutable type, then any change in the value of the mutable type will not change the memory address. For example, we can consider one list. Here L is given as 20, 30 and 40. List is a mutable type. That is, if any change in value occur, that will not make any different memory location. That change also reflecting same memory location. What is id of L? It returns the memory address of the variable L. Given the memory address like this. Just for showing the memory address of L of 0, just give id L of 0. Then what happens? I change the value of first index to 25. That is, I am changing 20 to 25. Now the new list become 25, 30 and 40. Then what will be the new address? Is any change in the address? No, address will not change because this L is referring to a mutable type. So any change made in a particular variable value, it will not change the memory address of the variable. That is why it's showing both same. But what happens inside the value, first one L0, the corresponding address is this one, and now the value of L0 is changed to 25. Now its address is also changed. So if it is pointing to a mutable data type, it will not change the memory address if you are changing any of the value. I think you are clear about these two concepts. Now we are discussing some example. Passing an immutable type value to a function. Passing an immutable type. So here, just simple example, immutable type is studied. Integer is an immutable type. So here only passing on integer value, and what are the changes that happens in our program. This one program is given, def my function. One function is given. So where the execution start, first it's execute the first statement, that def my func a. What happens? It identifies it is a function definition. So it execute num3, num equal to 3. Okay. So first assign num equal to 3. Print before function call num. What is the value of num before function call? Actually it is assigned to 3, so it will display 3. Then we are calling the function. So here what is the value we are passing? 3. That value is given to a. Okay. Then function body is executing, value of a equal to 3. Then a is changing to a plus 2. Now the value of a become 5 and it is printing. Then what happens? Return to the function call, then executing the last statement. So what is the value in the last statement after function call? Num is not changing, it is 3. So our output is like this. So how the memory environment of this example is going on. First line is executing, then it identifies it's a function definition, so it execute num3. At that time what will happen when num3 is executed in the global frame, num corresponding value is assigned. Okay. Then next statement is just displaying the value. Then function call is executing. When function call is executing, what happens? A local environment is created. So in my fun, a value is given as 3. Then what happens? Printing the value, it's okay. Then a equal to a plus 2. A equal to a plus 2, it change the a value to 5. Then displaying the value of a, again return to function call. Then what happens after function call? After completing this function, the local environment will disappear, only global environment. So again num value is 3. It's very simple program. The next case, passing a mutable type value to a function. That is, we are passing a list through a function. What are the changes it occur? We already studied list is a mutable type. So if any change in a value in a particular list, it will not affect the memory location. That is, memory location will not change. So what happens here? Def my fun on list is given, function definition is given, on list is assigned, print statement, function call, and again print statement. So what happens? First line executes, it identify it is a function definition, so it execute list of 1 equal to 22, 32. So what happens? First in the global environment, it create a list, and that list point to 2 values. Here 2 values are there, 22 and 32. Then before next line execution, before function call, list 1. So what will be the value here? It displays 22 and 32. Then what happens? Function call. When it calls the function, this list value is passed to my list. So list 1 point to my list. Both are same. So what happens? In a local environment, my list is created and both points to same list. Then printing the list, what is the value? 22 and 32. Then what happens? My list value is changed to, my list of 0 is incremented to 2. That is, here the first element will be changed to 24. So after executing this statement, the environment will be like this. Then after changing, what will be the list value? 22 and 32. Then returning to function call. When we executing the last, after executing the last statement, it comes to the function call. So it returns. Then after function call, what will happens? After completing this, our local environment, local scope will goes out. So what happens? Now the list points to 24 and 32. Don't get confused. Initial state it is 22, 32. Since it is a mutable type, so any change take place in same memory location. That is why in the final case, it values changed to 24. So your output is 24, 32 in the last state. Next is another one example. Passing mutable type value to a function. Assigning parameter to new value or variable. Here conditions are same, but here we are assigning parameter to a new value. That's the only difference. Here also we are using mutable type. Similar to previous example, but one more new parameter is using. Okay. Here also the same way the execution is going on. The first statement executes. What happens? It identifies it is a function definition. So it skips the line statements in function definition and directly goes to the next top level statement. So here list 1 equal to 80, 90. So what happens? Here list 1, 80, 90 in global frame. Before calling the list, what are the values? 80, 90. Okay. Then function call list 1. My fun list 1 function call is there. This list 1 points to my list. So here the list 1 is point to my list. Both are pointing to same values because list is mutable. Then what happens? That list is displaying 80, 90, no problem. Then another one variable is created. Another one list is created with name new 60, 70. So again, this is in local environment. So where it creates in the local environment, it creates another one variable new and it points to 60, 70. Then executing next line, my list equal to new. What happens here? My list is assigned with new values. Here in the initial case, my list is pointing to list 1. Now it is pointing to new. So now it will become like this, my list and new pointing to 60 and 70. Then my list dot append 50. Here what we are doing, 50 is appending to my list. Now my list is pointing to 60, 70. So 50 is appended. Appending means it will add the element to the end of the list. So 50 is added. Then what happens? After changing, what is the value of my list? 60, 70 and 50. Function definition is over. Return to function call. Okay. Then displaying after calling what is the value of list. Now the local environment scope is over. So this part will be removed. So now list 1 is point to 80, 90. So after calling, the value of list is 80, 90. So what do you understand from this? Changes in immutable types are not reflected in the caller function at all. In the first example, we see that. Next thing, changes if any in immutable are reflected in caller function if its names is not assigned to a different variable or data type. Our second example. And changes, if any, in immutable types are not reflected in the caller function if it is assigned to different variables or data types. I think you will be clear in these 3 points with that previous example. Thank you.